Hi, welcome back to Outdoor Gear and Skills. I just want to do a quick video on what I carry in my mountain bike, Camelback. I just did a big ride yesterday and I went up this main logging road, so big gravel road, and it had 3 offshoots going up. And I've ridden these offshoots multiple times, and I've done 2 together, but I've never done all 3 at one time. I was hoping that I was going to climb 4,000 feet in doing that, and I ended up just short of 3,600 feet. So, not bad, but my legs are sore today. I actually got some cramps in my quads that made it kind of painful. It was not as bad as my 34-mile ride down in St. George, Utah a couple of years ago. But still, it was pretty bad. I actually drank some pickle juice before the ride. I took that vial from Sucker Punch, and I took that with me of dill pickle juice and drank that, and I still got some cramps. So I'm thinking that, that was still good to take that juice, because I probably would have cramped really bad without it. So I wore this Under Armour shirt. It's from one of the Tough Mudders I did, and it's the sports material Under Armour. So I had that on, and then I also had on this Under Armour gray long sleeve. I took this off after 3/4 of a mile. I was just getting too hot, and it was about 35, maybe 36 degrees when I started. So I ended up tying this around my waist, and then I wear it on the way down. All the way up, it was pretty sunny. There was snow all over the place, so it made climbing some of these offshoot trails pretty difficult. And so it took much longer than I had anticipated. But by the time I got down, all of the drainage from the snow melting off, it just splashed mud and water all over the place. So I got my gear and stuff really dirty. So I had to go throw this in the washing machine. And so I thought, well, I got to empty it, so this is a good time to kind of get into this. Now, this is a Camelbak HAWG. I don't know that Camelback even makes this one anymore, but this is a big Camelback. It carries a lot of stuff. I do all my big rides with this. I've had it for many, many years. I want to say that I've had this since probably 1998 or 1999. I've had this thing for over 20 years, and the loops on it are kind of stretchy. Used to be stretchy material. They don't stretch much anymore. They're just they're really worn out, but everything else is still really good. Zippers and everything work. I don't remember if I crashed and ripped that or dog bit it, so I sewed it back up with dental floss to hold it. So this holds 100 ounces. It's got a 100-ounce bladder, and that's what that looks like. That is essentially 3 of the Gatorade or Powerade bottles before they cut them down to 28 ounces. So when they were 32 ounces, that's 3 of those. I went through all of that yesterday before I got to the top, so I was running without water up there. So 100 ounces was pretty good, but I was obviously just burning off a lot of calories. So in here, I carry a lot of things. First thing I have to carry is a spare tire. I've got to have a spare tube in case something happens. So that's the first thing I have in there. And then with that, I have both a bike hand pump so that I can get the inner tube inflated. It's always good to inflate it and then deflate it, stick it inside the tire so it doesn't fold on the creases where it's been folded up in the box like this. And then to try to get it inflated as much as possible, to then follow it up with a CO2 inflator. And this is a threaded CO2 cartridge. I just screwed this on, and this is a pressure valve right here, so it'll fill it up. I do like to get it pumped up as much as I can by hand, just because this is going to give me the high-end pressure on the back, and I don't want to run out of that. So that's what I use there. I keep a chain breaker. If something goes wrong, that's the only tool really that you can use to reconnect the chain. It sucks real bad. It's a pain in the ass, honestly. I've only had to do this on trail once in the 27, 28 years I've been mountain biking. but I carry this because if it happens, there's nothing else you can do except walk out. So I carry that chain breaker. These are the tire levers. These ones stick together, so they are the 3 tire levers, if you can see that. So they help so I can get the tire off the rim to go switch that out. So that's important. I've got just a little bit of a patch kit here. I don't like using these. Honestly, it's just been my experience that they just don't hold over time. It might be good if something's wrong with your spare tire, or if you're doing a ride and you've had multiple flat tires. I rode with a group up on the Wasatch Crest Trail in Salt Lake City many years ago, and one rider blew out 3 tires. So he got 3 flats, and we started borrowing, other people's tubes to get stuff fixed. So that's good, I guess, if you have it, but usually tire tubes are not that expensive. It's worth just getting it, because then you can also repurpose and use those as straps to tie off your Altoids cans or different. This is was a tire inflator that I've got some parts in there, so I can do that as well. I think it's a good idea to keep some kind of knife. This is a buck. I forget which knife this is. It's a Skinner essentially, so it'll at least give me some sharpness there to do something if I need. And this is my pump for my shock, so that if my rear shock starts to lose air, I can pump it up to where it would be properly. That helps with my efficiency and everything as I'm riding. I've got a small first aid kit in here. I think maybe I throw like $20 in there, just so I've got a little bit of cash. I also throw in, you probably can't see it, but right here is one of those kind of portable saw things in case I had to cut down, a couple branches or something to maybe clear an area. I went over a couple fallen trees yesterday that I kind of had to just smash my way through the branches, or if I got stuck and needed to make a shelter. It doesn't weigh anything, so I've just kept that in there for years and years. This is my skull cap to keep that noggin and my ears warm. That doesn't take up any space at all. It doesn't weigh anything, so that's important to have. I always carry a Mylar emergency bag or blanket. I think this one is a bag, but I always carry these. I have slept in one of these before up on Mount Timpanogos in Utah, where we got up there hiking all night, and we got up there before the sunrise. It was super windy. We were tired, and so I just wrapped up in this and slept on the ground for a while. Always carry paracord. I just used paracord today to help secure a load. I was helping a lady move here from Roseburg. She's actually moving back to Utah to be with some family, and she had we put the TV boxes after we had packed the whole truck and tied it off to kind of help secure the load, keep the TVs from falling. It's always a good idea. Really, you can't have too much paracord. Again, that doesn't weigh anything, and it's worth its weight in gold when you have it. Something very important here, I think they're essentially the same thing. One Wipe Charlie's from the Dollar Shave Club. There's Dude Wipes. There is not much worse than having to stop on the trail or at an outhouse when you're riding or you're hiking, and you have to go see the captain using toilet paper and it's sticking. These just get you cleaner. After using these and wipes for the last 7-8 years, it baffles me why we use wet wipes for babies, but we don't do it for adults anymore. So I carry those. Kleenex, just because this has some different parts in it for the chain. It's got a master link and different things like that I carry in there. Always carry chapstick. I didn't realize I had to carry chapstick. The riding shorts I wear don't have pockets. Typically I have, in fact, I've got it on me. That Shakalaka brand that we got from, I think, Holiday Oil in Utah. The best lip balm I've ever used. That's the only thing that we buy anymore. I carry a couple zip ties just in case a zip tie on my bike breaks that's holding my cable lines or something like that, or any other thing I may have to tie off. And then I keep 2 carabiners on the outside of my Camelback. One just had paracord right there so I could get to it quickly if I needed it. And I just clipped the other one on in case I needed something. And then I've got my multi-tool where it's got different hex wrenches, Allen wrenches in it. It was like a $20 tool. I think this one that's from Park Tool. It's a good little tool. It's got pretty much everything on my bike. All the sizes I need are right there. Fruit snacks. I ate a bunch of these. I don't know. This one's Mott's. I got some Welch's. I think I ate 2 of these yesterday, and it just helps to kind of get it in there, give energy. So that's good. You know, you do a big ride, you need some nutrition. Also, I ate this is a mint builder's bar made by Cliff. Pretty good bar. It's kind of dense. It's about 270 calories. And they travel fairly well. The one yesterday had broken in half, but they still travel well. And a Snickers just to give me some added energy. Eye drops, just in case I need it. Sometimes my eyes dry out with the wind, even wearing sunglasses. And then I just keep a couple pens and some paper in case I have to write any notes or do anything like that. And one of the last things I have is a signal mirror. I bought this at REI quite some time ago. I might need to replace this because it is getting scratched up. But it's not glass. It's more kind of a metallic type signal mirror. So that's good to have. A couple Allen wrenches, a little razor blade that is wrapped in the casing for safety right there. So I just carry that. And I haven't used it for quite some time, but I do have a couple of attachments for GoPro. These are the screws, you know, they're going for GoPro. And then this was a trail map, and this is for, I'm not even sure what this is for. This is for Coos County. So this is over at Whiskey Run, where I go. There's a big trail system out on the coast near Bandon, so I carry that. That's the gear I carry. It's probably more than a lot of people carry. I tend to kind of overpack. To me, it's worth the weight to just have stuff. I kind of look at things. My whole idea is if something happens, I'm going to get stuck. I have to walk out of a place. I have to spend the night. I want to go from miserable to uncomfortable. I can live with uncomfortable. Miserable just sucks. And so that's why I've got things like the emergency bag, that kind of thing, in case I go into shock or I'm getting hypothermic or something like that. There are other bags like Osprey and different things, but for me, I've been a diehard Camelback fan. I started mountain biking, I think, in 1993. It may have been 1994. I moved to Utah in 1995, and I got my first Camelback. It was a Camelback Mule. It's brown. I still have it. And then I got this where I can just carry so much more. And the gear I carry in it, you know, probably comes up about halfway. So yesterday I carried an extra sweatshirt in there. I'm able to put a change of clothes. And then one thing I do is I knew I was going to be a nasty hot mess. Even if I wasn't getting muddy or things, I didn't know what the snow condition was. I could see the snow. And I always leave an extra shirt down in the car. So when I get back, I can change my nasty clothes and put on a clean shirt. That way I'm not leaning against my seats. And the seats in my Explorer are leather, which I didn't used to like, but now I can just wipe it up. It's not staining and getting smells into fabric seats. So I do like that. But I always just take an extra shirt so I can just change real quick and feel better on the way home. So I'd love to hear in your comments, what do you take when you're either mountain biking or hiking? What kind of pack do you use? Are there things that you used to carry that you no longer carry because they've become useless, or they're not reliable, they don't serve their purpose, or they easily break? I'd love to hear what your comments are, how you go about doing things. That's simply what I do. And also, last thing is just right here, I've got a whistle. I've got it so that as I have my backpack on, that thing's right there so I can easily get to it. I don't want to crash and get hurt and not be able to reach into my backpack or be able to get it off, so I've got the whistle right there. As always, thanks for watching Outdoor Gear and Skills, and we'll see you out there.